Hope Channel, changing lives.
Evie, I am in the studios of Hope TV, coming your way with your favorite show, Real Talk. You know, today's topic is one that it makes me go back. I think of this thing called girl code, growing up, having friends in school, university, senior high school, wherever. And somebody will ask, what is the girl code? I think even the men have theirs. I think they call it boy code or guy code or whatever. And this is basically a set of unspoken rules. They are not written, they are unspoken. And it can either make or break the friendship. So basically, the girls have an understanding. Nobody came out to say these are the rules, but for some strange reason, we all have an understanding that these rules cannot be broken, and that when they are broken, you can either lose the friendship or obviously there will be some sort of consequences where the friendship would be destroyed, damaged, or marred. So today's story obviously has to do with something like that, where we are wondering if the girl code is something that is so strong that should not be broken, or wondering the circumstances where it makes sense to break the girl code, or it's one it's almost like the 10 Commandments. You cannot default, even though some of us Christians are defaulting with the 10 Commandments, but you know, that's life and that's human life. You try to do better every day. We are in the raining season. The rains are coming, the roads are flooding. So we would obviously ask you to please be careful. Take your umbrellas, your raincoats when you're stepping out of the house. Remember to avoid places with big drainage systems, gutters, what have you, because Accra flood can be quite scary. So please protect yourself from the flood and from unnecessary rains, if I should say, because the weather can be quite chilly and pneumonia, colds here and there. Now that you can't even sneeze in public because of COVID-19, it's something that you have to take seriously. Today's story is a very interesting one. I would share the story with you shortly, but I want to introduce my panelists to you. But before then, I'd like to remind you that we are live on Facebook and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. So tell a friend to tell a friend, go and stream live and join the conversation live. You can leave your comments under the comment section, whether you agree with the girl or her best friend. I'll share the story, you understand what I'm talking about. Or whether you think that somebody is being unreasonable or is overreacting, just share your comments. Just join the conversation live. And as the discussion goes on, I'll make sure I read some of your very interesting comments. I know you guys out there leave very interesting comments. I'm always in a hurry to read some of your comments because they make this conversational discussion on Real Talk. Today is no different. I went far and near to find you amazing panelists, people that are just perfect for today's conversation. They're just going to share their opinions with you. They will tell you whether they agree with the girl or they think she's being silly. They'll tell you whether things are going the way they think it should go or everything should come to an end. And that is what the show is all about, having a real conversation with real life people. You know, the stories that are sent to us are from real life people like you and I out there. So I'd encourage you to also send your story to us, whether it's through WhatsApp, DM on Instagram, Facebook Messenger, wherever you're comfortable sending your story. Please do so. Send it to Hope TV Ghana, and we will make sure we find the right people to talk about it. You know, I keep getting these comments where you're like, oh, what if it's not a story and it's a topic I want you guys to talk about? That is not a problem at all. Just share the topic with us. We can just have a discussion on the topic, or we can just find a case study that relates to the topic so that we can have a fully blown conversation where everybody understands what is going on. You know, they say a problem shared is a problem solved. And this show is obviously for young adults. So we encourage you people to talk about your problems. A lot of young adults are not talking about their problems. And unfortunately, some are committing suicide, some are sharing information with the wrong people, because that also can be a problem, and some are just going to the wrong people for advice. And unfortunately, if someone gives you bad advice, trust me, that can follow you for the rest of your life. So where you get your information from is very, very essential to your life as a person. So please feel free, share your stories with us, share your topic with us, and we will find you great panelists to have the conversation. This is a Christian channel, so we never do anything without God. So as we're telling you the realities of on the ground, we're also bringing you the spiritual aspects that will help, because I mean, prayer, as they say, answers all things, and with God all things are possible. So you're not losing either way. You're getting the real facts on the ground, and you're getting the spiritual aspects as well. So feel free, send your story to us, and we will have a great discussion out of it. Today joining me in the studio is Francisca. You guys know her. She's not a stranger. She's been on the studio I think 3 times, if I'm not mistaken, and you know that she just says everything as it is. She doesn't come here and oh, you know, there's nothing like being diplomatic here. She shares her opinions with you, whether you agree or disagree. She's told you what's on her heart. So far as she's okay with her God and herself, she's able to sleep at night. So today we have in the studio Francisca Kusua-Yeboah. Francisca, how are you doing?
Hi, Ivy. I'm doing awesome.
How has your week been?
It's been
good.
Okay.
It's been okay.
It's been good.
Yeah.
Not so much activities. Yeah, thank God. We are here.
Yeah, we are here. I am so glad to have you in the studio today.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. I would like to ask you about this foundation that you're working on. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Collins Health Liver Foundation.
Yeah.
How is it going so far since you started?
It's going well. I'm just about to start my first activity, which would be on my dad's 1-year anniversary. You know, my dad passed last year, unfortunately. So sorry about that. Yeah, so this foundation is in his honor. Okay. I hope that other people would not go through the ordeal he has to go through. So at the right time, we'll talk about this in details.
Okay, I was just about to ask if you can tell us exactly what it's about and know what.
Okay, it's basically about sensitizing the public about liver and its related diseases, and also offering free screening. And the long-term plan is to be able to support people who test positive for any of these liver related diseases, support them with the treatment, and get in touch with them to help them go through the process. We know how difficult it can be. Well, I know how difficult it can be, so that's the plan. So I pray for grace and strength
to be able to, because it's a huge task.
It is.
Okay, but what if someone wants to reach out and support? How do they reach?
Sure, the person can reach me on 0248 459555 or any of my social media handles. Fisca Ohima Kusua-Yeboah on Facebook.
Ohima Kusua-Yeboah.
On Instagram is Ohima Kusiwa. I'm yet to create the official page for this foundation.
It's in progress. I hope that the good Lord gives you the grace to be able to do this obviously very huge task.
Thank you very much. The first activity is on the 3rd of July.
3rd of July.
Tepa, yes.
Okay.
In the Ahafo-Ano North District, Ashanti region.
Okay, that's great. That's great. This is a very good job that you're doing.
Thank you, Evie.
All the best in all your endeavors. You're welcome. So joining me virtually is Pastor John Boston. Pastor has been, he's been having a show on Hope TV. Pastor, good evening. I'm sure it's like daytime at your end. How are you doing?
Doing very well. I am so excited to be here and looking forward to having this conversation.
I am very excited to have you on the show. But how is the 7 Powerful Reasons to Never Give Up program going? The feedback?
It's going exceptionally well. You know, here in Columbus, Ohio, there are more than 30,000 Ghanaians that live in this city. And it's in the Midwest of the United States. And so we wanted to reach that population because they are incredible and amazing. But God is blessed, and people from other cultures and other faith communities are joining. And last night, every night, we've had more and more people. And so we just began broadcasting at 9 p.m. GMT Ghana time on Hope TV Ghana. And that began last night. So you'll be able to catch up. Tonight, I'll be talking about the 5th most powerful reason you should never give up. But you'll have to watch on Hope TV Ghana at 9 p.m. GMT time so that you can catch up on all the other reasons.
Great. Thank you so much for being in the studio with us today, and I know you are ready for the conversation ahead.
I hope so.
So you heard, Pastor, 7 powerful reasons to never give up. It's an ongoing program on Hope TV Ghana from the 20th to 27th of June this month at 9 p.m. GMT every single night. So please make sure you tune in to enjoy these very powerful reasons why you should not give up, regardless of how life may be treating you right now. Okay, so the other person joining me virtually is Mrs. Barbara Owusu from Pomanso. Barbara, good evening. Barbara, are you there? Can you hear me? It looks like I can't reach Barbara. I'll check in on her later. I hope her network is not giving her any issues. The rainy seasons are not being so kind to me and my virtual guests. So please bear with us with the little hitches here and there. The internet. Okay. I think Barbara is back. I can hear Barbara now. Barbara, good evening. How are you doing?
Hello, good evening.
It's so good to have you in the virtually and in the studio once again.
You know, right? Are you looking beautiful?
Pardon?
You're looking very beautiful. I like your hair.
Thank you so much. That's so kind of you, Barbara. Barbara is a certified counselor, so she'll be giving us all the psychology and human behavior and why these things happen. So please, I am sure she'll be giving you an amazing opinion right there. So the next person is Naftali Ejay Buampong. I hope I'm not butchering your name. I'm so sorry, Naftali, if that's what I'm doing. Good evening. How are you doing?
Hello. Good evening, Evie. Good evening to you and your panelists. And I bring greetings from Kumasi and its environs. And actually, it's been drizzling all day. Oh. So the weather has been very chilly. And as you can see, that's why I'm in my smoke. Good evening once again.
Just to get yourself a bit cozy, right? Please mention your last name to me again, because I do not want to make the mistake of getting it wrong.
It is Buampong. It is Buampong. As you can see, we're still having challenges with the light.
Yes.
So it goes on and comes.
Regardless, we will have this conversation because this young lady needs us. Yes. So Naftali, I'll get back to you and then take your opinion very soon. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll just go right into the story. I want to share the story with you today. So there's this young lady who is dating a young man. They've been dating for the past 5 years. And they met through national service. They were both posted to the same office. That was 8 years ago. And this, her boyfriend has proposed marriage. So now he's going to be her future husband if everything goes according to plans. And the problem is she has a best friend. She's been friends with this girl for 18 years. And according to her, she says this girl is like a sister to her. They've been good friends through school, university. They are virtually like sisters from another mother, if I should say. And the problem is this boyfriend or her boyfriend, who is called Ryan. So Ryan dated this best friend of hers whilst they were in the university. So this means that Ryan is her best friend's ex. So now Ryan and her best friend's relationship did not work out in the university. They ended things, and Ryan tried to get back to her. He tried several times, but her best friend said, oh, she's done, and she doesn't want the relationship again. And so she moved on. This lady says she asked her friend why they broke up, but she never really gave her any reason. So fast forward, they've left school, they've all been posted to their various places for national service, as we do here in Ghana. And she meets this Ryan guy there. So in the process of working together, they got close, they started liking each other, they started dating. If it was 8 years, so they started dating 3 years into meeting each other. Now they've been dating for 5 years, and she says throughout the process of dating, she never told her best friend that she's been dating Ryan. Now let me backtrack a little. She says when Ryan came to the office to work as a national service person, she reached out to her friend and told her that, oh, I'm in the same office with Ryan. I mean, I work with him. And her friend said, I don't care. I've moved on, whatever. So she gets close to Ryan and they start dating. Now 5 years down the line, Ryan has proposed marriage. And she says she knows she's going to say yes. There's no doubt about it. She knows she's going to say yes because he is the best thing that has ever happened to her. But her fear now is, how does she tell her best friend that not only am I getting married to Ryan, I have been dating you for the past 5 years. She says amidst great caution and anxiety, she was able to tell her best friend that I have kept a secret from you. This is what has been happening for the past 5 years. And now he's proposed marriage and I want to marry him because he's so great to me. All that amazing stuff. Now, her best friend flips on her, calls her a liar, calls her a backstabber, calls her all sorts of bad names, and threatens her that if you go ahead and get married to this guy, never to speak to me again. You're not my friend, you're not my sister, I do not want to have anything to do with you. This girl is confused because she said you're over Ryan. I mean, if I like Ryan, what's so wrong with me getting married to him? But the best friend is obviously having none of it. She says, if you go ahead with this is what is going to happen. So now the girl is left with the option of choose your friend or your sister and lose your future husband, or go with your future husband and lose your friend and sister forever. She says she doesn't know what to do. She's confused. She's in great pain and she needs real talk and it's amazing panelists to help her out. So this is our story for us today. Kusua.
Yes.
What is your general take on the story?
Okay. So while I read the story, I was asking myself one question. Why is she upset?
Which of them?
The best friend.
Okay.
Why is she angry? I mean, it's expected that she will feel uncomfortable because her best friend, somebody she calls a sister, is now going to get married to her ex.
Right.
It's a very comfortable situation to find yourself, okay? We all get that, but why do you flare up and give her conditions? And what makes her even think that she's going to be the preferred choice? Yeah. Is she angry because the friend is has betrayed her? Probably they had the sister code that we're talking about.
Right.
Is she angry because the friend has betrayed her? Is she angry because the friend is going to get married before her? Is she angry because her best friend didn't tell her earlier? These are questions that we don't have answers to right now, but whatever the answers are, I think we can understand that she'll be uncomfortable, but I don't think she has every reason, not even an iota of it, to give her options. She's an adult and she's made a decision. So whether you are comfortable with it or not, you just have to find a way to deal with it.
Right.
You don't ask her to choose between you and the man that she has fallen in love with.
And before I go to my other panelists, opinions on dating your friend's ex in general, not specific to this story. What do you think about it? Do you think, oh, if you say you're done with it and you've moved on, I have every right? Because I know a very good friend of yours. And looking at the situation, I'm wondering if you can ever date, I don't want to mention her name, but her ex.
Evie, I will avoid the situation as much as possible.
Okay.
The girl could have done same. But I also believe that everyone lives with certain principles, whether religion or moral or your own personal principles that you live with. This is one of mine. I would never date my friend's ex, okay? And like you said, it's unspoken. I don't expect her to date my ex.
Okay.
But life happens. Sometimes life happens and you fall in love with people unexpectedly.
Exactly.
And you can't fault them for it because you made a decision as an adult to leave the relationship for whatever reason. You have left, and you keep insisting that you are done with a guy. So whatever he does with his life, it's none of your business.
Right.
So she just needs to stay off.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Pastor, I'm coming to you. What is your general take on the story? And for your question, I would ask you, did this best friend do anything wrong by going ahead and dating her friend's ex?
Yeah, I think, let me give you my general take on this. First of all, that I think that when you're young, you have these types of codes. But as you get older, I think these codes can change. They evolve just like we change and we grow and we apply the principle differently. In this instance, you asked me, did she do anything wrong? Well, wrong is based on the relationship, isn't it?
Right.
You know, some people, it's wrong to wear your shoes in the house, and other people, it's not wrong to wear your shoes. So wrong in this instance for relationships is based on this context. But if I had to answer the question, I had to read this a couple of times because there's some details that we're not clear on. And the detail that we're not clear on is exactly why her friend broke up with him and didn't give him another chance. Yeah. And so that makes it difficult for me to land solid or square on why she's wrong. But I'm going to say this. I don't want a friend that I cannot be honest with about romantic relationships. I don't want that kind of friend. And so for that reason, her wrong, if you want to make it right or wrong, the fact that she has this friendship for 18 years, her friend is like a sister, the relationship, it doesn't seem like it goes as deep as it should, because she should have been able to say, you know, maybe 3 months or 6 months into this relationship with this guy, hey, look, I'm in love with this man and I'm going to pursue this relationship. And I want you to be aware of that. And if you want to tell me why you didn't respond to him when he chased you or pursued you, this is the time to tell me now, because I want to keep going forward. So I wish she had done that. She should have done that.
Okay. But do you think that the best friend's reaction to the whole story is justified?
No, I think the best friend is trifling. I think it was terrible for her to treat her friend like that. This woman is prepared to make a life decision with a life partner. She wants to give this man her heart and her life, and they want to have a full, long experience together. And at a time when she should have been happy for her friend, she betrayed the confidence of their relationship, confident that you're going to celebrate with me just like you'll mourn with me. This is a relationship from years ago, it sounds like, many years ago. Yeah. And if I were Evie, if you're my friend, Evie, you're my new friend, okay? If you come to me and say, Pastor John Boston, listen, I have this wonderful thing in my life. I'm going to take this new job, and it's a job I didn't like and I didn't want to work. And I say, Evie, how could you go work with those people? That's not good friendship. Good friendship says, I want to talk to you about this a little more, but let me first say, congratulations. I'm happy for you. That's good friendship.
Yeah. Right. Thank you so much for that. Barbara, coming to you, your general take on the story and a bit about this whole girl code thing. Before I ask you if this lady was wrong by dating her friend's ex and for keeping the secret for 5 years.
All right. So, Evie, thank you for the opportunity. I'm very sorry. It's really, really raining here. And then again, my light keeps fluctuating, light off, light on, light off, light on. So forgive me if there are glitches here and there. All right. So to the story, you know, when I read the story, it was very funny. I decided to underline some few sentences, some few clauses here and there. The first one was, my ex, whatever, just proposed to me. What is the meaning of just proposed to me? I think you were sleeping, you wake up, I love you, I want to marry you. Is that how? I just can't afford. You have been with a person for 5 good years, and you are telling us that he just proposed marriage to you. Really? Seriously? And then why didn't you tell your friend? Because I was scared of my friend's reaction. So for 5 years, you have been scared of your friend's reaction, right? So how come that now that the guy has proposed marriage to you, the fear of reaction has quickly left you, and now you're telling your friend, oh, my friend Ryan is going to marry me. Oh, seriously? Then you come back to tell us that she is your sister. No. She's not your sister. Sisters don't do that. Sisters don't keep secret, no matter what. So for my general take, the lady did not do well for keeping it for 5 whole years. Even 5 years from your friend. So then occasionally she flare out. And then for shit, don't keep secret. If you have met someone and then you're in love with someone, why couldn't you tell me? And your reason was, I am scared of your reaction. And now I'm actually reacting the same way that you were scared of. Now I'm threatening you with our friendship, our sisterhood, and everything. Because from the very beginning, it's just frustrating. If I was the girl, I would have told my friend, hey, Ryan is at my office. Yes, you did. But when you got close to Ryan, did you tell your friend about it? No. So does she want to tell us that there had never been a time where the two sisters were together and Ryan had called in or Ryan had sent a WhatsApp or something? You've been able to keep this all for 5 good years. In fact, you are a criminal for doing that. I can't forgive you. You have broken the couple. You don't do that. Away from that, and the whole thing about dating your friend's ex, anyways, it's also based on moral principles and then our value systems and our standards and all. But for me, I don't see anything wrong with dating your friend's ex, depending on the circumstances surrounding their breakups. You know, there are some breakups, and then you, the friend, you even decide to fight for your friend. You didn't do well, gentlemen. You should go and apologize and all those things. But then if it was a mutual breakup based on public religion, sickle cell, fertility, something that you can't do anything about, and then you have to break up, and then I have the opportunity to be with him, why not? I can go ahead and be with him and marry him.
Right.
But not to sleep on your friend. Evie, you know, this generation of vampires, as Pastor would say, this generation of vampires, if you leave your door open, they'll be sucking your blood. You know, we have sisters who have been snitching on their friends, take their boyfriends away from them.
Yeah.
And because of that, most ladies have decided to keep their relationship secret, even until the time of, yes, I do, and save the date and all. Because if I don't do that, my sister, the one I call a bosom friend, will end up being in the bosom of my beloved. And I don't want that to happen. No. So you see, and the one thing about us men, like some of them that I want to say, is that some of our men tend to believe our friends more than us. Yeah. We that we are in a relationship with them, they tend to believe our friends more than us. So if my friend should just come and tell my boyfriend that, oh, this is your girl, she's been committing adultery or fornication, or she has aborted like 1,000 times. Instead of my boyfriend to find out from me, he would rather listen to my friend and then start acting some skirmishes here and there. And then by the time I realize he is in cahoots, he's in bed with my friend. So what do you expect, Evie? So because of that, most of the ladies have decided to keep their relationship secret. But for this story that we are talking about, you said you've been sisters for 18 whole years.
Yep.
And you kept away for 5 years from the 18 years, 13 years, all of it. But you have kept the
Oh my God, the internet is terrible. Barbara, I don't know. Whichever owl is sitting on Barbara's line, please fly away. We cannot hear Barbara. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't hear the rest of what Barbara is saying, but she's speaking extensively on what she thinks so far. So I'll try and move to Naftali. Naftali, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Please, let me take your general take on the story and ask you, you guys have bro code. If the story was flipped, would you have a problem with going ahead? Do you think you would have a problem with your friend that moves to your girl and wants to marry her or not? And also, speaking about the best friend's reaction, threatening her, giving her an ultimatum, choose me or choose Ryan, lose me or lose Ryan, all these things. Please share your opinion with us on that.
All right. First of all, I think that the lady who wants to marry the guy has no problem at all.
Okay.
That's my opinion. She can go ahead and do the marriage. What I want to talk about is this. Sometimes people think that once I have dated this lady, if I'm a guy, I say, once I have dated this lady, I don't want my friend to come near the same lady. Although I might have moved on, You see, in the story, when you were reading the story, you said the lady, when she was doing the national service, and the guy came there, or she met the guy, she told her friend, and her friend was like, she has moved on.
Right.
Moved on, in my opinion, means that whether you have someone in your life or not as of that time, you want to have anything to do with the guy again. Whether you are dating somebody or not, you're not having anything to do with him again. Right. And so you've moved on. That is the meaning of moved on. Whether you are dating or not, nothing can happen between the two of you again. And so if you actually moved on, what prevents your friend from going there? Apparently, you see, everybody in this world, aside what we've been taught from the Bible and moral issues and all that, we have our own individual principles for which we live by. And we are not ready. Sometimes we are not ready to compromise on our principles. Yeah. And so, yes, you were with the guy while she was in school, and this guy, something happened for which we don't know. Something happened and then you broke up. When you broke up, this guy came back, begging you actually, literally, to come back. And then you never went back to him. Your friend even asked you what happened. And then you didn't tell your friend what happened. And so it means then that you have been sister for 18 good years, but it is not everything you share as sister.
Exactly.
And so I should also tell you that I'm dating this person for this number of years. Oh, I've met a certain guy. We want to have a date and all that. I know you, and I know the levels we can do. Yes, we can be sisters for like 50 years or more. But there will be levels as far as the conversations we will have is concerned. And so it's possible that the lady in question might have read her sister very well, even while they were in school. She doesn't really converse with her on all issues. And so they are circumspect on the kind of issues they talk about. And so why should I tell you something I'm doing right now? And so I think that is why, in my opinion, that is why she might have kept it a secret. In as much as she is saying that she was scared and all that. You see, whatever happened that brought the breakup, okay, it has really generated some kind of jealousy in that lady. And so she doesn't really want you to now go in and then take or harvest whatever she would have been the one harvesting. And so I think that back and forth, these things back and forth, it's a human issue, but it is high time our minds grow past those things. You don't owe the person in any way. You get it? Yes. You can be friends, but you don't have any blood relation. You cannot be family. You can be family as far as the church is concerned. But then there's nothing like blood issues, linking the two of you such that she's your direct sister from one mother, one father, and so you cannot take somebody she has dated. No, this is not like that. It's just 18 years. And there are some things, just like Pastor said, we might not know the full story, we might not know this full story, but then there are things which would warrant that this lady can move. For me, I think she can move on and do her marriage. Thank you very much.
Okay. So as you can see, we have very, very different opinions on today's show. Some people agree with the friend. She should go ahead and marry Ryan. Others are saying you don't do that if you're a sister. And I mean, you can obviously see that every point is quite valid. And that is why this is a real conversation. So that every part can be heard. Then at the end, we come out with a great conclusion or solution to the problem. We would have to take some words from our sponsors to not go anywhere. We'll be right back. When we come back, we will look at if there's a way this lady can manage the situation and save her relationship with Ryan as well as her relationship with her best friend. And we will look at finally, what should she do? Should she go ahead and lose her best friend and keep her man? Or she should lose her man and keep her best friend? This is Real Talk. We'll be right back. Do not go anywhere.
Whatever the occasion, with ATL, you can never be out of style. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
Hope Channel presents an evening of gratitude and praise featuring Besdak Praise. Special guest, Pastor Dr. Divine Aivo.
But my friends, when the storms come, don't dismay. There is a man who can rebuke it on your behalf. There is a man who can tell those storms, peace, be still, and the devil will leave you alone.
Date 26 June 2021, 4 p.m. live on Hope Channel.
Short break. We are still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana. My name is Evie. Joining me virtually, I have Francisca Okusua, as I like to call her. Virtually is Pastor John Boston, Mrs. Barbara Frimpong Manso, and then I have Naphtali. So today we've been having a discussion on this letter that we got. This girl has been dating this guy for 5 years. The guy he's Ryan. He happens to be the ex of her best friend of 18 good years. And she didn't tell her best friend because she was worried of her reaction, even though the best friend has said she's moved on from her relationship with Ryan, and so she doesn't really care whoever Ryan dates, if I should say. But she didn't know that her friend was dating Ryan. They met through national service postings, and they got close, and 5 years down the line, Ryan has proposed marriage, and this girl says, he's the best thing that has ever happened to me. If I don't say yes, someone will say, why you who? So she wants to say yes. In fact, she's going to say yes, but she also wants to do right by her friend. So now, after 5 years of dating Ryan, she goes to tell her friend, oh, I'm about to get married, and guess who? It is Ryan. And the friend says, what do you mean? What is wrong with you? 5 years you've been dating Ryan, you didn't tell me. You're a bad person, you're a liar, you're a backstabber, and I don't want you to get married to him. If you get married to him, trust me, I won't talk to you again. You won't be my friend. I'll throw away this 18 years of friendship. The only solution right now is for you to leave him and not marry him. So this is an ultimatum. Leave Ryan, gain best friend. Lose best friend, gain Ryan. Whichever one is she going to choose? She says she's in so much pain. She loves her best friend, obviously. 18 years, that's like being sisters. And this is almost 2 decades old. And she obviously loves her husband to be. So she's torn, she doesn't know what to do. She saw it fit to bring it to Hope TV Real Talk for a real conversation. And that is what we've been doing so far. So far, we got very different opinions on what everybody else is thinking. But Kusua, coming to you again, do you think, okay, so briefly, her best friend's reaction of, I won't be your friend. Yes. Yeah. And then do you think this girl, is there any way that she can manage a situation where she doesn't lose her husband and still keeps her best friend?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, there's a possibility that she's going to lose one of them. And that is her decision to make. She can either lose the husband to be and still continue to be in an eternal friendship with a friend, or lose the friend and be in a forever relationship with a husband to be. But Evie, let's be real. In this age and time, it's really difficult to refer to someone as the best thing that ever happened to me. You've gotten that best thing, and you want to leave it for a best friend? I believe if it has to get to that, then, well, I would go for my best thing that ever happened to me. My best friend cannot get married to me, and I don't know if you're dating someone and you can confidently call the person the best thing that ever happened to you, then you definitely have a best friend in him. So why would you want to lose a 2-in-1? I mean, a whole package for just a best friend?
a best friend and a sister.
Well, I mean, come on. This is a whole package.
Okay.
Also, there's a probability that he can have both of them. I think the best friend is upset.
Okay.
It can be understood that he gets upset. But with time, I believe that he's going to come around. She's going to come around. She can, I mean, I think if she wants to be reasonable, she would understand that, see, she's my best friend. We've been friends for 18 years. Even I don't tell you everything.
Okay. But this is Ryan, my ex.
Your ex, fine. You said you had moved on.
Right.
Nothing we said could make you change your mind. You have moved on, so move on. Let me also enjoy what you were enjoying. Probably you were. Probably he has changed.
Okay.
I mean, people grow, they mature, they get new experiences, and they become better.
Right.
So, I mean, she has to well, I would have understood. Probably they cannot be that close as they used to be, but she has to understand that, see, this is life. You can't always have things go your way. She made a decision to leave the guy. It's about time we start owning up for the decisions we make in life, good or bad. And we should understand that whatever decision we make has consequences. So your consequences for leaving your boyfriend in uni is your best friend getting married to him.
Okay.
Just understand that you'll be hurt, but deal with it and move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kusua says, deal with it and move on. Put on your big girl panties and move on. But Pastor, coming to you, is there a way she can manage the situation where she keeps her best friend and her husband to be, if I should say, or you think there's been too many, what's it called, damage that whatever decision she makes, she's going to lose one of them?
Sometimes when we come in contact with truth, it's called cognitive dissonance. It creates this difficulty for us to put together what we thought we had versus what we actually have. And I think this individual has come in contact with her truth. The truth is you have someone that you call a best friend, but they are not close enough to you that you can tell them about your love for 5 years with this man. The truth is that you have this man who may not have told you why he broke up with this lady or what happened, why she wouldn't give him another chance. We don't know. We have no idea. But what we do know is that her truth is that, like our last panelist said, her truth, Evie, is that she has this man who loves her. She loves him. She has a best friend she loves, but that best friend is not willing to celebrate with her. And she is probably upset with herself that she's been in this relationship with her best friend and didn't tell her best friend about this relationship she has with this man. And so for that reason, I think that can she have both? She can have both, but it doesn't sound like it's up to her. It sounds like her best friend is going to have to grow up and say, you know what? I'm sorry that I was not a good enough friend that you could have told me. Or her best friend is going to have to say, I acknowledge that I'm not mature enough to handle you being in this relationship with my ex. And so for that reason, I support you, but I have to support you from afar. And I think the onus of responsibility now is on the best friend. She can try and try to give it a chance, but she needs to move on, start planning her wedding. I'm available. I'm a pastor. I'm available to come and perform the ceremony. And I will pray for God to bless your former best friend since you found the best thing that ever happened to you.
Wow. So Pastor is available. You do not even need a minister anymore. There's a minister here. He will officiate. He will do everything you need him to do, and you can get married to your future husband.
Only because they're friends of yours, Evie. Because they're friends of Real Talk, and Evie, I'll come for free. You just tell me. I'll be there.
Imagine. Friends of Real Talk. He will do it for free. What more can you ask for? But Barbara, coming to you, can she manage the situation and have both best friend and husband, or you think she would definitely have to lose one of them?
Okay, Evie, just as Pastor said, he's there to bless them. I'm also available for all their counseling needs. I mean, the beauty and the bride to be. I'm also available for all their counseling needs. So they should take it. But if to every story, there are three sides. Yeah. My side, your side, and the truth. We only know one side of the story.
Right.
We don't know about how the lady felt and how she's feeling now. You know, what does the Bible say about reconciliation? We are Christians, so I want to use the Bible. In Matthew, when you sin against someone, when you offend someone, and then you want to make peace, what are you supposed to do? The first thing is you go to the person and you try to make peace. If the person does not agree, you bring in a second person. If the person still does not agree, you bring in a third person. And after the third person has spoken, and your friend still does not agree, what does the Bible say you do? You let it go and you live your life. So to be able to manage this, I'd rather the friend use this Bible principle. She has spoken to her. Now she's in denial. Just as Pastor said, cognitive dissonance. She's confused. Now she has met a moment of truth. What she thought would never be is now happening. What she thought was not real during university day, she's now visualizing it. It's going to happen, but it's not happening with her. She's not the one going to wear the veil. She's not the one who is going to walk down the aisle. It's going to be her best friend. You see, she's going to be jealous, some little hatred and envy, anxiety, and all those things. So when they all come together, definitely cognitive dissonance is going to take place. So right now, she is in a different world. But come what may, she's going to come to terms with reality. And who said you should let the man go? Evie. Do you know how hard it is to find a husband, let alone the best thing that ever happened to you? I really love that phrase, the best thing that ever happened to you. In this generation, this lawful generation, and being able to meet someone who is the best thing that happened to you, please don't ever let him go. But if you let me also ask, so in all this, where is Ryan? What is Ryan saying? Does Ryan not know that the person he's going to marry is his ex's best friend? So why is the lady worrying herself too much over this? And in fact, even after marriage, where will your friend be? Yeah. After marriage, we still keep our friends, but it's not as we are going to keep our husbands and our family. So for me, I would say she should try to reconcile with her friend using the Bible principle, and then go ahead, plan her wedding, get the best wedding planner or event organizer or whatever, and then do a glamorous wedding. Make sure to invite her and her family as well. It's her bad. We are very sorry. We can help her wipe her tears, and then best another time. Next time, good luck. I'm sorry for her, but good luck next time. Yeah.
Good luck next time is what Barbara says. That is very, very interesting. And Barbara asked Anitra, she said, where is Ryan? Ryan is waiting for this girl to just come on so that they'll get their marriage together and stop this my best friend business, if I am not mistaken. But Naftali, I'll come to you and I'll ask you, just as I asked the other panelists, do you think she can manage the situation where she wins? I mean, keeps her best friend, keeps her husband, and also, finally, what should she do? Love her fiancé, lose her best friend, love her best friend, lose her fiancé.
All right. Thank you very much, Evie.
You're welcome.
Evie, you see, marriage, as the Bible puts it, whenever two people are, being joined as husband and wife, just before the altar, the pastor says, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. You see, according to this lady's heart has been intertwined with the guy's own. That God is about to join something together which no man should put asunder. Friendship has an extent. Yeah. Friendship can go beyond a certain limit, and then friendship has its own, limits. Sorry, that's what I can put it. But for marriage is till death do you part. Even one heir, to the point that the heiring should bring, partition between the two of you. Jesus Christ says that even if you want your spouse, you should go for him or her. And so that thing the lady found, you see that phrase she used, that she has found the best thing in her life. I think that whatever the other person saw, the goodies that the other person saw in him, she found it, as well as what he has also found that will make her forgive him easily without him coming to beg for forgiveness even when he errs. You see, that is what she is having more than what her friend had. You get it? And so for me, I think that this lady is having a fruit salad. You see, and she should go ahead and enjoy her marriage. And then the other friend, what will happen to her actually is, God would actually help her. And then through this, most of us become philosophers out of some of these things. We use our experiences to advise people. You hear some of these things written, you read some of them on social media a lot, and then we advise people. Most of these things, writings come along with some of these behaviors. So I think that the lady should go ahead.
Right.
Pertaining to the question you asked,
right?
Can she have both of them? Yes, she can have both of them. Well, how can she have both of them then? Now the problem is her friend. Her friend is the one who is being jealous. Her friend is the one who is having all those, threat messages and all that. Whether you lose your husband or you lose me and all that. And so, if she can go ahead and get a counselor, right, or somebody respectable to talk to her friend on her behalf, I think her friend could compromise, come to a compromise. But if she still insists, I, for one, would advise her to go ahead and look at her friend, because when you get married, not even your children should stand in between you and your wife. That is what And so she can get both of them. But then, if the other person is still insisting on her losing her spouse to be, I think she should leave the other one and go ahead, because these days it is very difficult coming by a good person, and not to talk of somebody who is like a gold in everything,
Right.
So she should go ahead and then do it. Thank you very much.
Okay, Naftali says, go ahead and marry your husband. It is very difficult to find a good person, as he says. Let me read some comments before we go. This is from Princess Pearl Adesoya Jisa. She says, Oba, please marry your man. Why? Okay, Chris Nats Indede says, an European faithful friend once gave me this counsel. When it was just about, so once gave me this counsel. He said, when I was just about to marry my better half, have your eyes open before marriage, because they would be half shut after. This counsel is indeed food for thought. Once again, an old adage said it that once shy, twice bitten. I hope these sayings can butter your bread and serve you better. Okay, Mame Kesua also says, don't marry him because of your friend and regret later. Just assume your friend is late, okay? Oh, Mame Kesua. Oh, come on now. Jen Bart Planche says, you want to lose your happiness for friendship. She's the same person who told you she's moved on after their initial relationship. You eventually have found love unintentionally, without even allowing her then boyfriend to cheat with you in their relationship. Please go ahead with your marriage if that brings you happiness. If your friend wants to cut the 18 years of friendship just because you're entitled to being happy, so be it. God knows, spare this your account, you've done no wrong. She left and you had no intention of snatching. I'll pray for your friend to find happiness when she intends to go, since she didn't accept the guy back even when he wanted to. I'll be disappointed if you're not happy with your decisions. You are not supposed to please man but God. Okay, and the Uzu says failing to marry this guy is what we call witchcraft. Because if your friend really loves and cares about you, she would rather congratulate you. Okay, Nana Ifiabuachi says go ahead and marry him. She'll get over it in some few years, and you have your joy of your growing family. Okay. Isaac Owusu Crusader says, please, my dear sister, can you prove me with just a quotation telling us to choose friends ahead of what the Lord has blessed? If you are able to prove it, then go for your friend. But if you are not, then sister, forget about your friend. You can ask Crab, what friendship did to him. You want to miss your mini heaven on earth? Delete that your friend's number, Crab. Now you the bore God, Crab. Okay, let me see. Justina Ifriye says, this lady is not serious. So, hey, it's your friend, your sibling. How can you even call someone who doesn't consider your happiness a friend? Okay. Okateche says, Why? Is your best friend also proposing marriage? You there. How can you equate God's holy institution to friendship? You call this a friendship? Okay. Let me see. Let me pick some on the live conversation before we go. So this one is from Abina Echampong, who says, what if the best friend had a hand in the breakup? Why couldn't she tell her best friend about dating her ex? The fact that she couldn't tell her best friend about it for 5 years is something else. Well, as for me, I can never ever date my best friend's ex. And I don't expect my best friend to do that either. Okay, Satina Efo Arthur says, the panel members today, dear Chai, I think there's nothing wrong with dating your best friend's ex, depending on the issues surrounding the breakup. But she had 5 years to tell her so-called best friend, and she didn't. Is that one to a friend? But the best friend to why? Just be happy for your friend, congratulate her and move. The two sisters need a real talk. Okay, let's see. Intim says she made a mistake by not telling her friend from the beginning, but her friend has no right to tell her to leave her ex-boyfriend because she didn't even have any reason for leaving this boyfriend of hers. Okay. Let me see. Usumafo says you should agree to it because your best friend is going to think you are the reason why they broke up. I think the best friend knows the reason why they broke up. I mean, from, what is it called? Yeah. All the way in uni. I mean, she knows. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't take today's comments are too many. I can't take all. But you guys, you can obviously I think the best friend's issue here is more on the betrayal of not telling her for the 5 years than more so the getting married to him, if indeed she's moved on. I mean, if it is on the fact that she wants to get married to her ex, that's quite strange. Like someone said, that's witchcraft. But in this day that they said women are 7-to-1 ratio of men, she should leave this one and go for who? Men are limited for the women. If she's found her better half, someone will say, if the Ryan has found his ribs in this girl, I think it is difficult, as everybody said and as Kusua said, it will be a very uncomfortable situation. But even if the best friend would just even ask her, I'm happy for you, go ahead with your marriage, but I don't think I can be that close to you because of how uncomfortable it will be. That makes sense. That I can understand. Unfortunately, that is what the situation will be, because I can't imagine seeing someone that you've been with your best friend all the time, especially if the relationship was meaningful. But we need to find out why they broke up. I think that's where the problem is coming from. There's a reason why she doesn't want to give out that information. Maybe when we find out the reason why they broke up, then it would also make sense why she's so against their union in the first place. But you can't tell a grown woman to choose between you or her husband.
No.
How? You when they ask you to choose between you and the best thing that has happened to you, will you? So in this case, there's a bit of betrayal, there's a bit of selfishness, and there's a bit of confusion and whatever. But in the end, let love reign. You love your best friend, so her happiness will be paramount. So I'm sure that when you think of that, you remove yourself from the situation and let her be happy with Ryan if that is who she finds. And hopefully God grants you someone who is the best thing that has ever happened to you. So my panelists, thank you so much. Kusua, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Evie.
Thank you so much for
nice to be here.
Conversation.
Evie.
Yeah.
Hello, Evie.
Yes.
I'd like to say a greeting to my better half.
Okay.
Emilia.
Okay.
She's actually a fan of you. She works at the Western North, and she really watches you every day. Hi to Emilia. And also to all your listeners. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You see how after you say hi to his better half, they want somebody to leave their better half and go and do what? Please, we beg. Pastor, anyone you want to say hi to, now that after I started the trend, let me just ask you all to say hi to some few people before we go.
Well, I'll say hello to my host, the Columbus Ghanaian English Service. It's a magnificent ministry effort here in the center of America. And I'm very grateful for their kindness in bringing everything. Pastor Samuel Adjei. And so I'm very grateful for their hospitality and connecting us all together today.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you. Barbara, anyone?
Oh, of course, you know already. Okay. Special greetings to my husband. The best thing that ever happened to me, Pastor Samuel, I love you so much. And to my parents-in-law, yes, I would say that, my parents-in-law. visit them. And of course, to my glam store, you know, the one that gave me this beautiful headpiece, and to all Adventists in retrospect WhatsApp group members. Thank you all, the love to you. And then to you, Evie. But one thing, Evie, before you go, you know that this friend is, I think this friend is having something called unfinished business. I don't know if she still has an unfinished business. You want to find out about that one before you're able to solve this problem, this whole issue. You know, all of us are speaking for the girl. Go ahead and marry, go ahead and marry. You are not on the psychological need of this friend, the one who has been betrayed, the one who has been hurt. It's painful, but with time, she'll get used to the fact that a friend betrayed her by not telling her the truth. All we know, it is not because she's going to marry the ex, that is why she died, but because she was able to keep such a big issue from her for the whole of 5 years.
Right.
That is why she's angry inside.
Right.
So, like I said, better luck next time. But then let's find a common ground for these two friends. They've been friends for long. So thank you very much for the show.
Okay. Kuzua, quickly, because Pastor's program is at 9 this evening. We have to get out of the studio.
You know, if I have to mention names,
it will be long.
So to all my friends who are watching, my family, my church members, and to my graphic designer, Sam, faculty graphic design. He did a great job.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for coming to the studio and joining me virtually as well. Thank you for your opinions. Thank you for how vocal you have been about this topic or this story. I hope the lady is quite settled in her spirits, but she needs to really apologize to her friend for keeping this for 5 years, betraying her trust and not being able to be open to her. And I hope that God gives her friend the heart to be calm and to accept that yes, she's been betrayed, but then overall her friend's happiness is also important. And if they decide to go ahead with their marriage, I wish Ryan and the lady a very beautiful union, and I'm praying for the best friend to find her better half, someone that makes her happy and the best thing that has ever happened to her. Remember that the 7 powerful reasons to never give up is still ongoing. Today at 9 p.m. on Hope TV, Pastor John Boston II will be gracing the show, hosting the show. So please tune in. Today he will be sharing the 5th point. So please tune in. Do not go anywhere. Right after Real Talk, just sit by your screens and watch that amazing program. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for those of you at home. Thank you for leaving your comments. Thank you for always tuning in. You guys are amazing. I'll come your way same time next week with yet another exciting story or episode of Real Talk. My name is Evie. Enjoy the rest of your day.